What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Purple and Gold podcast. Today, we are here to rant about the Minnesota Vikings. This team has been so disappointing, and as I'm recording this video, we're about to lose our 9th game, this one, coming to the New Orleans Saints, who are ironically ending our season as we usually end theirs. So, a very, very difficult game to watch, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I did not want to watch. I mean, we could not get a stop. A couple of interceptions here and there from underthrown Drew Brees, washed throws. Other than that, no answer for Kamara, no answer for Latavius Murray, and Chris Jones getting burnt. None of the safeties can make tackles. Corners can't cover. Linebackers can't tackle. Defensive line can't get pressure. It just goes on and on and on. And the most disappointing thing about all of this is that the one year that our offense is actually good enough to win games and put up a decent amount of points, our defense is not there now. So if it's not one thing, it's another. And it's just so disappointing. Yeah, I can go on and on about this game, but we're here to talk about the season as a whole, even though there's still one game left, which is going to be completely meaningless because there are no playoff hopes. But, I'm still going to stand by this. This is a bad team, and I don't know who it is to blame, but right now, I'm going to blame a lot of it on Mike Zimmer. I'm still going to stand by the fact that he should be fired. The Vikings almost came back. That does nothing for us Vikings fans. Congrats, you made a good effort. That's not what we're here for. We're here for a championship. It's been far too long. And, you can't, put this title over your head that you're a defensive-minded coach and you're going to have, one of these great defenses and, put up performances like this. We gave up how many points? Like 30 plus to Trubisky. And then now we give up 5 touchdowns to Kamara. We even gave up 40 points to a just terrible Atlanta team earlier this year. I know part of it has to deal with the turnovers with Kirk and everything like that. That's besides the point. Bottom line is this team sucks, and I know that there have been so many injuries this year and a lot of guys leaving and stuff like that, and that's also on Rick Spielman. Mismanagement, just giving contracts to guys who just aren't performing, letting guys go that we probably need back. We found ways to give guys a lot of money, and they're just not on the field anymore. So yes, Rick Spielman is to blame. He does bring in talent, but other than that, it's in and out of the building type of stuff, really. I don't know. What am I talking about anymore? It has just been so unfortunate to just watch this team because you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes they play well, and they have played well for 6 of the games this year, and the other 9 is just like, oh, it's either just so close or they're just out of it. Like, they don't want to play. You knew from the first drive today, if you watched the game against the Saints, that man, it looked like they weren't even trying. Like their season was over, which it wasn't yet until that drive happened, really. I really don't know what to say. And going back to Rick Spielman, I'm going all over the place with this Vikings rant, but that's how this team is. It's also all over the place. A failure to get the quarterback position right. I know it's so difficult, but since, for the longest time, the Vikings haven't had the guy. And now that we have the guy, which is Kirk Cousins, a team that was supposed to make the Super Bowl after the 2017 season, has only made the playoffs once, and we got 1 playoff win out of that. So that's pretty disappointing because at one point, we had the best roster in the NFL. And with all of the talent that we've had, even with Diggs. And look, Diggs is out. Why? Because coaching is horrible. Mike Zimmer wants to run the ball when we have all of these other weapons. It just doesn't make any sense. I know Dalvin Cook is great, but so is Adam Thielen, so is Stephon Diggs when he was here. And look at Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson should be doing what Stephon Diggs is doing in Buffalo, and Stephon Diggs should have been doing what Stephon Diggs is doing in Buffalo now. We're not utilizing our guys correctly. It's just give Dalvin the ball, and then, oh no, we're losing the game. Now let's pass it. It's pathetic. And then now, this double A gap blitz defense and, oh, Mike Zimmer's cover 2 schemes. Yeah, how's that going for you, Mike? I'm upset. I am upset. This is a Minnesota Vikings organization that is consistently good but never great. And I think that's why we need change. I I would, sacrifice years like this. I know this wasn't a horrible year. Sure felt like that though because expectations were so high. But I would take, 2 to 3 horrible years if we have to make coaching staff changes, just changes all around the team, whether it's, for the roster, for the coaching, for the front office. And if that can get us to greatness, then why not? Great, we made the playoffs. That's how it is every year. And it's never like, oh, yes, the Minnesota Vikings are playoff contenders, not Super Bowl contenders. And that's how it is year after year after year under Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman. I don't know what to say. I'm definitely not a fan of tanking, right? So I'm glad that we made it this far. I don't care about where you draft because, look, it has shown since last year that, Justin Jefferson with that pick, look, he was, what is that, pick 20, 21, 22, something like that. And we still got like the second best player in the draft behind, Justin Herbert. So draft position doesn't matter if you can capitalize on that. And that's the thing with Rick Spielman is like, yes, he does bring in the talent, but then there's also so many other places, specifically the offensive line, that are being ignored year after year after year. And it's the same problem year after year after year. So what is the answer? I don't know. But there needs to be some sort of change this offseason. I think, from now it can only get better with all of our guys like Daniil coming back. I know I already mentioned all of that. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic, but I think what Mike Zimmer is doing right now as the Minnesota Vikings head coach is limiting what this team can do as a whole. And that's the most disappointing thing because this team literally was putting in 6 to 7 Pro Bowlers every year. And what did it get us? An NFC Championship appearance where we put up 7 points and the best defense in the league gave up 38, and that's as close as we've gotten to the Super Bowl with all of that talent. I don't know what to say. I'm not a believer in Zimmer anymore, and it's hard to believe that this team can actually make a playoff run after watching all of the games that we've seen this year. I still am going to remain optimistic, and that's why I've watched every game up until this point, that's what you got to do as a fan, but man, it is difficult sometimes. I could rant more and more and more. I would like to repeat myself more and more and more. But I don't even know if you're watching up to this point. If you are, though, thank you. And I'm sure that you have been just as annoyed with this team all year as I have been. But it's an even year. Mike Zimmer doesn't, make the playoffs on even years, so I'm speechless. I really am. I don't know when we will see greatness, but I don't think it'll happen under Mike Zimmer. And I hope that he proves me wrong. And I don't think it's going to happen with Kirk either. I think Kirk is good. He's not great. But I want both of them to prove me wrong because I think that they can. But they got to be perfect. They got to be perfect. They have like that 1% chance. You know what I mean? But yeah. I'm not going to let this ruin my Christmas. This is just a rant that's been held in for all year. And now that our playoff chances are actually done, I can rant, But, yeah, Christmas has been good so far. And shout out to my guy Nathan, the Dolphins fan. He got me this hat for Christmas. He dropped it off, 20 minutes ago. So that was really awesome, a nice surprise. So thank you, Nathan, if you're even watching up until this point. And I also want to thank Jasmine for this awesome cup, which is backwards, but it says Purple and Gold Podcast, Minnesota Vikings. Another great surprise. I was not expecting anything like this, but yeah, I'm really grateful for all of this stuff. Definitely made Christmas even better than what it already was, so I just want to thank you guys for that, and I want to thank everyone who has supported me throughout this entire year. I haven't really publicized the channel, you guys know that, but 67 subs, a couple videos with hundreds and hundreds of views. I think that's amazing. I think that's a great start. Not going to give up, obviously. This is really fun. But yeah, maybe I'll live stream the Lions game. I don't know. But yeah, our season is over. We're playing a meaningless game. I don't want to lose. But yeah, that has been the 2020 Minnesota Vikings season. And I'm sure you guys are all just as angry as I am. But yes, thanks for watching. And if you are watching up until this point, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a like. Comment whatever you want. Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you later.